Your Siberian Husky does not love you the way a golden retriever loves its owner. That is not an insult. It is the whole point. This is a dog that was bred by the Chukchi people to run for hours across frozen ground, out ahead of you, making its own decisions about the safest line through the ice. It was never bred to sit at your feet and wait for instructions. It was bred to be a partner who works beside you, not under you. So when your husky ignores your recall, screams at you in the kitchen, digs a crater in your lawn, or refuses the treat you're waving in front of its face, it is not being disloyal, it's being exactly the dog it was engineered to be. And here's the thing most husky owners never figure out. The gestures that make a Labrador melt will barely register with your husky. You are speaking the wrong love language to a dog with a completely different operating system. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 14 specific gestures, small, cheap, doable this week, that speak directly to the Siberian Husky's actual wiring. 14 things that will make your husky look at you differently. Stay to the end because number 11 is the one that quietly changes everything about your relationship, and almost nobody does it. Number 1, answer them when they talk. The Siberian Husky is one of the most vocal breeds on Earth, and that vocalness is not noise. It is an invitation. That low woo-woo, that rising howl when you walk in the door, that muttering monologue when you're getting the leash, your husky is initiating a conversation. Most owners either ignore it or shush it. Both responses tell your dog the same thing: the channel is closed. Instead, woo back. Actually do it. Match the pitch, drag out the vowel, look at your dog while you do it. What you'll see is your husky's ears come forward, its body loosen, and the sound continue, because you just completed a loop that has been open since it was a puppy. Huskies are one of the few breeds that will reliably hold a back-and-forth vocal exchange with a human. Take them up on it. 2 minutes of nonsense howling is a bonding ritual for a dog whose ancestors sang together in the dark. Number 2, give them a legal place to dig. Your husky is not destroying your yard out of spite. It is thermoregulating. In the Arctic, huskies dug down through snow and topsoil to reach cooler, insulated ground, and the instinct never left. When your dog claws a pit under the hedge on a warm afternoon and then flops into it with a satisfied grunt, it has just solved a problem that its double coat created. The cruel move is to fill the hole and scold. The loving move is to sanction it. Pick a corner, loosen the soil, fill a shallow bed with sand or cool earth. Bury a toy once so your dog finds the spot. Then let your husky wreck that specific square meter for the rest of its life. You haven't given up on your yard. You've told your dog, I understand what your body needs, and I've made space for it. Number 3, let them pick the direction. At the next junction on your walk, stop. Loosen the leash, say nothing. See which way your husky leans and go that way. This one sounds tiny. It isn't. Siberian Huskies were bred as lead-capable dogs who scanned the terrain ahead of the sled and chose the route. That decision-making drive is still humming in there, and in the average pet husky's life, it is never once used. Every walk is a route you chose, at a pace you chose, on a schedule you chose. Give them one walk a week where the route is theirs. You'll notice the difference in their body immediately. The head lifts, the trot changes, the tail carriage shifts. That is not stubbornness being indulged. That is a working instinct finally being switched on. Number 4, give them something to pull. Fetch is a retriever's love language. Your husky is not a retriever, and if it brings the ball back twice and then walks off, that is not a failure of training. It's a dog telling you you offered the wrong game. The husky's game is pull and arrive, weight against the chest, distance under the paws, a destination at the end. That's canicross, that's scootering, that's a properly fitted X-back harness and a bike, that's a weight-pull sled in winter or a tire on grass. If you have none of those, a simple walking harness with a bungee line and a jogging pace will still scratch it. The first time your husky feels resistance across its chest and realizes it's allowed to lean into it, you will see a dog wake up in front of you. That's not exercise, that's identity. Number 5. Reorganize your day around their thermostat. If you live anywhere warm, and many of us do, your husky is spending most of the day quietly enduring a climate its coat was never designed for. Walking your husky at 2 p.m. because that's when you're free is a small ongoing act of not quite listening. Walking it at 5:30 a.m. before the ground heats up, and again after dark when the concrete has cooled, is a daily act of love that your dog feels in its whole body. Touch the pavement with the back of your hand for 7 seconds. If you can't hold it, your husky can't walk on it. Shift the schedule. It's inconvenient for you and transformative for them. Number 6. Don't punish the scream. Every husky owner knows the sound. The full-body, operatic, wildly disproportionate scream, usually over nail trims, harnesses, vet tables, or being asked to get out of the car. Here's what most people do. They raise their voice, tighten their grip, and push through. And here's what the husky learns. When I tell you I'm uncomfortable, you increase the pressure. Do the opposite. When the scream starts, freeze, loosen your hold, wait. Let the volume drop before you continue, and only continue at the pace your dog can tolerate. You are teaching your husky something almost no husky ever gets to learn. My protest is heard, and it changes what happens to me. That is the foundation of trust in a breed that is famously hard to earn trust from. Number 7, learn to brush the undercoat properly. Twice a year, your husky blows coat, and undercoat comes out of it in clouds. Most owners attack this with a slicker brush that only skims the guard hairs, which does nothing for the dog and feels nothing to the dog. Get an undercoat rake, learn line brushing, lift a section of hair, work from the skin outward, section by section, along the body. Done properly, this reaches the dense layer that's actually causing the itch and the heat, and you will watch your husky physically melt into the floor. And never, ever shave a Siberian Husky to cool them down. That double coat insulates against heat as well as cold, and shaving it can permanently damage regrowth. The gift is the rake, not the razor. Number 8, give them their own kind. Siberian Huskies are one of the few breeds that were kept, worked, and housed in genuine teams, which means loneliness lands differently on them than on most dogs. You don't necessarily need a second husky, but you do need to take other dogs seriously as a need rather than a luxury. A standing weekly run with a friend's dog, a trusted matched playgroup, a neighbor's husky your dog can wrestle with. Watch your husky mid-play with another dog. The shoulder checks, the mock bite exchanges, the way they run shoulder to shoulder rather than in circles. That's not just fun, that's a social template being satisfied that you, as a human, physically cannot satisfy. Number 9, make cold things happen. Your husky's happiest sensory memories are things it has never actually experienced, and you can hand it small pieces of them. Freeze bone broth into blocks and drop one in a bowl on a hot afternoon. Fill a hard plastic paddling pool with water and let your dog stand in it. Give them a bag of ice cubes to crunch. If you have a cold tiled room, leave that door open in the daytime and let the husky choose it. Small things, but the sight of a husky lying in cold water with its eyes half closed tells you everything about how well you just read your dog. Number 10, stop demanding eye contact. A lot of modern obedience training is built on focus, on the dog looking at your face and staying looking at it. Your husky was bred to look forward. Its job was to watch the trail while you watched it. Constant staring at the handler is not a husky virtue, it's a border collie virtue that huskies get punished for lacking. So stop chasing it. Instead, reward the voluntary check-in, that quick glance back over the shoulder while your husky is out ahead on a long line. That glance is your husky saying, "Still with you." Mark it, pay it, and let your dog go straight back to scanning forward. You are working with the dog you have, instead of correcting it for not being a different dog. Number 11, build the fence so you can say yes. This is the one. Siberian Huskies are escape artists. They climb, they dig, they slip collars, they bolt through the half-second gap in a doorway, and their recall under prey drive is famously unreliable. The standard response to that is restriction, shorter leash, less freedom, never off the lead, tighter and tighter management for the dog's whole life. Flip it. Spend the money and the weekend on real containment, a 6-foot fence, dug-in wire or paving along the base, a coyote roller or angled top, and a double-gate airlock at the entrance, so no single open door means escape. Then buy a 15-meter-long line for the outside world. The security isn't the point. Once the perimeter genuinely holds, you can stop white-nickeling every door and start letting your husky move at speed without a human hanging off its neck. Safety, built properly, converts directly into freedom. Almost nobody makes that trade, and it is the single biggest quality of life gift you can hand a Siberian Husky. Number 12. Keep them lean even though it feels mean. The Siberian Husky is metabolically extraordinary. Bred to haul loads across enormous distances on remarkably little food, they run efficient in a way that most breeds simply don't, which means the normal bowl you'd give another dog of that size is often too much. And it means many Huskies are genuinely uninterested in food, which frustrates owners into adding toppers, treats, and extras until the dog is quietly overweight. Resist. You should be able to feel ribs under a light layer of flesh, and you should see a clear waist when you look down from above. A lean Husky moves better, cools better, and lives longer. The bull isn't the love is the discipline to keep them built like the athlete they are. Number 13. Let them sleep near you. Huskies slept in piles. In the harshest conditions, they slept close to the people they worked with. Proximity during sleep is deep, old, pack-level wiring for this breed. Your Husky probably doesn't want to be in your bed, too warm, but it wants to be in the room. A cool spot on the floor, a raised cot near the doorway, somewhere it can see you and hear you breathe. Shutting a Husky in a separate room every night for a decade is a small sadness that quietly compounds. Open the door. Let them pick their spot on the cold tiles. They'll be there in the morning. Number 14. Never walk the same route twice in a row. Huskies habituate to environments faster than almost any breed, which is why a Husky that's well exercised can still come home and dismantle your sofa. It's not that it wasn't tired, it's that it wasn't interested. Rotate. Different street, different direction, different surface, different smell. Take them somewhere with water. Take them somewhere with a hill. Drive 15 minutes for a new field once a week. Novelty is not a luxury for this breed, it's a nutrient. The Husky that gets a new map to read every day is the Husky that lies down calmly in the evening. Same distance, same duration, completely different dog. Here's the thread running through all 14 of these. None of them are about making your Husky more obedient, they're about making your Husky more understood. This breed will never worship you the way some dogs do. What it will do, if you speak its language, is choose to run beside you. And once a Siberian Husky decides you're worth running beside, that is the most honest kind of love a dog can offer, because it was never given away cheaply. Pick one from this list, just one. Do it today. The dig pit, the woo back, the 5 a.m. walk, the 15-meter line. Pick the one you know you've been getting wrong and fix it this week. Then tell me in the comments which one it was and which of these 14 your Husky already has you trained to do. I read every single one. If this helped you see your dog a little more clearly, hit subscribe. We go deep on breeds like this one every week, and there's a lot more Husky content coming. Thanks for watching.